You're about to embark on adventure, a journey into a world of passion, emotions, and challenge. You'll ride the most beautiful motorcycles ever created. These bikes are so incredible that they sometimes transcend their mechanical nature and reveal a soul worthy of the best riders. They hold inside the dreams and ideas of their creators, and their hearts of steel speak to our very instincts. Speed, style, adrenaline, or pleasure, whatever your nature, if you've come here, you belong to this world. Everything you've ever dreamt of is here before you, and no matter your goal, here you'll find the perfect companion to reach it. Welcome to the heart of your passion. Welcome to Ride 3.
G'day and welcome to another slow and steady video here on the channel. My name is Katie and today is Biking Sunday. Look at that Triumph. Look at that gorgeous kind of matte black with that beautiful vintage Triumph. This is Ride 3. See our character just pottering around the workshop there. There's a settee, beautiful big open windows, and the bike just sat there. Regardless of what bike you choose, your bike will sit there and you can see your character walking around it. You also get to put your character in a couple different clothing, jeans, t-shirt, whatever you want to put the character in. So, in the world of racing games, sequels are supposed to give us more. More bikes, more tracks, more features. But back in 2018, yes, 8 years ago, Milestone released Ride 3, a game that, looking back from 2026, represents the absolute peak of a specific kind of motorcycling passion. It didn't just want you to be a professional racer, Ride 3. It wanted you to love the motorcycle culture. Today, we are looking back at the features that took their very last ride in Ride 3 and why the series has never quite felt the same since. So yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the features that they dropped from Ride 3 in this video. So without further ado, I love the fact that we can see our character just pottering around. Sometimes she's on the laptop, other times she's tinkering with the bike, and as I said, the bike will be the bike that you choose to have in the workshop at the time. So let's start with the most obvious casualty, dedicated drag strip racing. I've never actually been to see a drag strip race. I have seen truck racing, I've seen TOCA touring car racing, I've seen banger racing, I've seen MotoGP, but I've never actually seen, I've never been to a drag strip before. So anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. The most obvious casualty is the drag strip racing. In Ride 3, drag racing wasn't just a tacked on mini game. It was an entire discipline built right into the career mode. You had dedicated drag strip environments, a custom launch mechanic, and a progression loop that forced you to master precise upshift points under immense pressure. But now I haven't done I haven't done a race like this for a long time. Got a CBR 600 from 2001, a 2000, and a 1999 R6. What do we fancy? Quite like the Honda, Suzuki, kind of like the fat body on the 2000. Quite cool, actually. Or we've got a nice skinny R6. Acceleration, yeah, I think it's that R6 or the CBR 600. Let's go with the acceleration of the R6. Here we are at the airport, and there's a few different variations of drag strips in different locations. So we've got start race, bike settings, race options. So without further ado, let's dive into the race. Love how it looks down at the rev counter. Manual transmission. Oh my god, we're late off the line. So we might need to tune our bike a little bit. Looks like we're probably going to get last place. Yeah, we're our fourth place at 21 seconds. We've got a bit of work to do on the bike, but that's okay. These things are we'll go and tune the bike. Oh, that's pretty cool. We can see that I've got one of my friends there, Mr. Jamie Rocks, and who's into his bike games. And it looks like he had he had the 2001 Honda CBR 600 and 500 performance points. So we're going to have to go and tune our bike. But pretty cool to see your friends there on the leaderboard. Okay, so let's continue. Oh, it actually goes through we've got like a proper championship, so you go through to the final. Obviously, I was beaten with the... Oh, I forgot one more race, I'm not sure. No, so it's taking it back to the main menu. But that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and tune up our bike. Do we have to go far to tune up the bike? Right, quite a bit of customization to do. So we've got an ECU. I don't know how much money I've got. Oh, not much. I've got £10,000 to bring our bike really up to speed. Let's try a new gearbox would help, I think, and a quick shift. That's going to cost us 2,000. Okay, and let's have a quick shifter as well. And chain gives us a bit of torque. So put a new chain on there. What else is probably going to do it a bit of good? Engine, maybe. Exhaust might give us a little bit. Racing rods, are they going to be cheap? 2,000, hold on. So before we go with the racing rods, let's go back and have a look at maybe an air filter. That might give us a little bit. There you go, it takes us up to 484 performance power. That's only £200. Let's try and keep it cheap. Suddenly it feels like Gran Turismo, where I'm kind of like, I can only afford so much for my bike, and I'm going to have to do more racing, which is what we don't see enough of these days, where you have to go racing in order to, be able to afford parts for the bike. So, how about boring or porting of the cylinder heads? Oh, that takes us to £498. £5,000. At least it would get near Jamie's 500 performance points. So let's do that. How about some high quality oil? Surely that's not going to be much. How about putting exhaust on there? I wonder how expensive they are. 503 performance points for this one here. We don't have the necessary credits. What else can we perhaps put on? Might be pistons will be expensive, surely. 2,500. We could put them on. That'll take us to 500, which would match, I think, what Jamie had. Yeah, so 498 to 500. And we've got 266 credits left. So that's it. That's all we can do. That is all she wrote. So let's go back to the race. And here we are at the airport. Right, let's see what we can do. Love how the camera pans down to the rev counter on the bike when we start. So... Oh no, I've got run into second gear, for fuck's sake. Okay, I'm gonna have to start that again. I literally figured we were neutral, so I dropped the clutch and I went straight into second gear. Right. No, I do need to put it in first gear, for fuck's sake, it is in neutral. Right, okay, we got this now. We're so slow, we're so old. Okay, now we're cooking a little bit. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. But at least we're not coming last. 6 speed. Jesus Christ. After all that work, we've only come third. Have we made it into the No, we've not made it in because we can see that Leicester and Ibanez has gone through. But I do like that raw, organic progression that we used to have in the original Gran Turismos. So we're in neutral. No, we're in first gear now. Okay, that's better. Come on, Katie, let's go up in the ship. I think we might have second place. We're just going to need to spend a bit more money on the bike. Fuck, I think, yes, we're in third. We're in third place. But hey, at least it's not fourth place. So as you can see, you're going to have to work a bit more on the bike. So the final position was 7th out of all the runs. Jamie never made it into the cut either. And I wonder if we could have one more go. That takes us to 5:05. Oh, with this modification, the bike no longer complies to the event conditions of the entry. Do you want to? No, we do not, because the bike won't be able to play. So maybe it's a 500 limit to the bike, to the event. Okay, so let's try again. So I'm in first gear. Oh, for fuck's sake. So let's try once more. Okay, let's pop it into first gear. Oh, we're off to a good start. Come on, Katie, let's go. There's no meter, you just have to listen to the revs of the bike. Oh, much better off the start line. I might actually win this one. There's another R6 behind us. We go through to first place. I've done nothing to the bike. I didn't do every failed attempt, so basically we're on very easy as well. So but you know, I'm having fun. So we made it through. Is that right? Have we got one more race? Now, obviously, they remastered, or they did like a PS5 version or current gen version for the Ride 4, which I bought and I've been playing extensively. But I think if they put this on a native PS5, I would buy this as well. In fact, no, we don't need to buy it again. It runs perfectly fine. We don't need to always buy remastered. Yeah, let me take that statement back. This game runs completely fine as it is. It's, you know, so we don't need a remaster. And we're off to another good start. Fuck, he's on the outside. Come on, my little R6. Oh, we're going to struggle to beat him, I think. Should have shifted sooner on that 6th gear. There we go, second place. I won't bore you with any more of this because I'm going to have to do a few more runs. But we've come into a little bit of money now. And now we're set at 9 grand. So a bit better than what we did previously. Okay, so what else is missing from this game? So let's just finish up on the drag strips. When Milestone overhauled the physics and engine for Ride 4, they threw the drag strips in the bin to make room for endurance racing. Well, I do like the endurance racing, but couldn't we have both? So if you do play Ride 4, 5 and 6, you will not see those drag strips no more. So perhaps one of the biggest shifts between Ride 3 and the modern era is what you're actually riding. In Ride 3, it felt like a digital version of your local bike meet. It was packed with everyday motorcycles. You could buy the exact cruiser that your neighbour owned. So perhaps we can go into the... Where should we go? So going into the dealership, you'll find many brands here, and got the Husqvarna. Look, the Scrambler. It's a Swedish company. We did a bit of talk on that. I think a British Norton bike. Look at that. How lovely is that? Always great to see the British brands in there as well. A British flag on the back of that one. Look at that's lovely. 2017, and that one there. Yeah. Lovely. Or some add-on requires as well. But I think the game launched with like 230 bikes. Let's have a quick look here. Yep, that's right. Ride launched with over 230 bikes in the base game, which eventually ballooned to roughly 300 bikes after its 9-month DLC roadmap concluded. The track count in this game is also very, very good, considered one of the best in the entire series. And we're going to head out onto the open road because while we're talking about these bikes, as I just go off piste with my notes, there's loads of cruisers on here, like old sort of vintage cruisers that you won't see in Ride 4, 5, and 6. So here we've got sort of just old brands. What's this here? Oh no, it's a scrambling bike. There is some scrambling here as well. Yamaha. Let's see what the Yamaha's got. Look. So here we've got that's called a scrambler, but looks in 2017, a 15. But yeah, just these. I remember they almost look like a 1980s bike. Those bikes there. What else we got? Was that a 1985? In fact, that RD was the same bike that we seen on the members video when we went to the classic bike show. And I want to go to some truck shows so we can do that for the members as well. But if you are a member, then big shout out to you. 2015, I'm sure there was some really older bikes here. A second, what bike's that? Is that like a, no, I thought there were some cruiser bikes. 2017. I mean, it's nice to see them. The sort of like, the cruiser bikes here. A 2002 CB, I thought the Hornet. Now, the Hornet is very similar to the Bandit. The Bandit was considered a good starting bike. And the Hornet, I think, was the sister bike to the Bandit. Look at that Fireblade there from 1995. Very cool. A CBR 1000, 2002 Fireblade, a 1987. Again, that was similar to the bike that we saw at the show. I quite like that Triumph. That's a bit of the star of the show right now. Let's take that Triumph out and let's go to the track selection. Obviously, it's on Donington because it's one of my favourite circuits. There are, of course, licensed tracks. Obviously, the licensed track, Laguna Seca, Imola, that kind of thing. But there are open roads. Ride 3 shone the brightest on its fictional point-to-point road courses. These tracks took you through idyllic countryside routes, sweeping lakeside paths, and tight, sun-drenched village streets. They gave the game an incredible sense of scale, freedom, and exploration. When the developers rebuilt their assets for the current generation, these beautiful, sprawling road courses were left on the cutting room floor. The focus shifted in Ride 4, 5, and 6 to the entirely closed circuit. By erasing these open roads, the franchise took away the environment where everyday bikes actually belonged on the open road. You don't ride a casual, naked street bike on a Grand Prix circuit without these roads. The modern games feel very confined. And let's see what we can find. So we've got that almost, that looks like a track as well. So we've got GP circuit, street circuit. So of course we've got the usual contenders here that I struggle with on the daily. Still don't know the Northwest 200 very well. We're doing quite well on the Southern 700, the Boulogne circuit, I think it's called. Ulster Grand Prix, there's a video up of us belting around the Ulster Grand Prix. So here we go, we've got Italy, we've got USA, Spain, we've got Italy again. That's an open. So let's try one of these circuits. Let's go for the USA and the Snake. Oh, let's go for sunset. You can race at night. So again, I think the whole community, maybe it's just me, is crying out for an open world bike game where you can just like, regardless of what's going on in your life, you could just hit the open road. Now I know you can go out and buy a motorcycle, but do you know what? I travelled up to Nottingham yesterday, and the volume of traffic on the road, whenever I see a bike in the rearview mirror, I'm always very aware, give them loads of room. But, it's the virtual world might be the place where the open road still exists, in some format. I know it's not the same. I don't want to, certainly get into it's not the same. But for me, who doesn't have a bike license, wasn't allowed a bike, this is my dream, to be able to just put a pair of headphones on and just go on a big road trip. So here we are, the Snake over in USA, and sun is going down. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, it's a shame you don't start. It's a time trial, I guess. But it's a shame you can't have a standing start. I'm also guessing it's point to point as well, so we'll just slow this down. Have a look at our bike. Like I said, it is, the game is showing a little bit of age now, but okay, how do we get down to the handlebars? Again, you can see the rider pull back that throttle there. Was there a flick of the clutch? Yes, there was. As we take a right. Oh, so it's not quite the open road, so it is kind of like a circuit still, isn't there? We've got a little bit of a, race kind of thing about it. Maybe we'll lose the crowd and when we get onto the open road. But another great game like this is the crew. I really do rate the crew, especially Crew 2 with America and the motorbikes there. What we could do is bring in some of this HUD, removing the rev counter. We don't need that, we just need the bike. As we just pooter along, and yeah, I love these big, this has given me Crew 2 vibes actually. Yeah, fabulous game. But I think maybe that's just the curse of a franchise, evolving over 15 years, is that it changes, it drops different things. But the bike culture is something that, it's not all about track racing. Sometimes it is about that, coming home from work and just wanting to kind of go on the open road and just forget about the day or wash some of the day away, It's not all about kind of track racing in my book, especially if you're going to have a game called Ride, like literally the clue's in the title, So I can see that we've done 46 miles on this bike, just stick to 47. I quite like that. But certainly as someone, who has a gaming channel called Slow and Steady, and someone who is over 50 years old, this is something that I like doing. I like just chilling out. It's not all about the adrenaline rush or the circuitry, of racing around circuits. Also, they did bring the open world to Isle of Man TT3, and you could run around the circuit. That was quite good. So it's almost like they're edging towards this sort of like, free roam kind of thing that they've been doing over the last few years. But no one's actually, oh, if we run a little bit wide, no one's actually put all their chips on, you know what I mean, like poker. No one's pushed all their chips in on it and said, actually, we're going to do a big open world biking game where you have to manage your fuel, maybe sleep, a bit of a life sim as a biker, and then you could hook up on the weekends and go camping and fishing, something like that, I don't know. But that's just me, I like a little bit of role play, and yeah, I don't know. But we'll have to see where gaming goes in the next 10 years. Obviously, we've got lots of changes, this digital thing that we're fighting about right now. Suddenly I feel like I'm on a trap game where I'm just talking and waffling. But the world's changing, and not always for the better either. But we'll roll with it. We're gamers. You know, we've seen a lot of changes over the years, but this seems to be the biggest with the internet. You know, it's like a double-edged sword, because, you know, you'll be able to hook up with your friends. Imagine sort of riding, you know, 6 bikes down here, all chatting on the mic. You know, I don't know, man. You know, maybe pulling over and making a tent and having a campfire and just sat there talking shit. That's my ideal of open world kind of biking game. You know, yeah, I think it'd be cool. Pull up at a pub for the night, all the bikes parked outside, and you know, have a couple of beers, because you can have whiskey and beer and Red Dead. You can sit down in a pub with that game. In fact, we might do that and talk a load of shit. Well, I'm grateful to you if you are subscribed. Thank you for being part of the SAS crew. A big shout out to you. Really do appreciate you guys as I try and grow this channel a little bit, and you know, have some plans along the way. And if you have gone the extra mile, then thank you for being a member. But yeah, this is quite a good little circuit. But it's giving that kind of like, you know, whenever I'm on a bit of a long thing like this, I do go into a bit of a waffle. But especially if they made like the bikes quite expensive, and you had to, you know, you could only really afford one bike, and then you did a few little things here and there to, you know, save up for a few sort of aftermarket parts. I think it'll be great, wouldn't it? You know, much like the progression that you do in Red Dead Online. And I may bring some of this, but you know, if you booted up Red Dead Online right now, you would have the shirt on your back and a really crappy gun. But if you hooked up with me, you can come and sit around the campfire. We've got a tent, we've got a fast travel post, and you know, it'd be really cool if suddenly, you know, you on a bike game, and you know, I didn't have maybe I had a tent, but I didn't have a stove or a campfire. I didn't have enough money to buy some food. I don't know, I'm waffling a load of rubbish now, really, but so it's still going on, this circuit, which is really nice. So I think we will pull over and finish the rest of the video, otherwise, so look at this, we didn't even make it to the end. Let's pull on over. Invalid time, that's completely fine. How did we get to the outside? And there we go. Love the Triumph on the back of the pillion seat there. Yeah, very cool. I think I'd rather be in like normal leathers rather than a Power Ranger suit. Obviously with the you know, the full that's Alpine, isn't it? Alpine style, the leathers. I'd rather just have like a biker jacket and some, you know, leather jeans or something. But anyway, we digress. So I think we might leave that video there, just looking at a few bits that's not made it into the latest franchise. I think Ride 3 struck a perfect masterclass balance between realism and pure casual fun. The physics engine was accessible and highly forgiving. You could throw the bike into a corner, mess up your braking markers, or shift your weight aggressively, and the game would let you recover with a smile on your face. So it's very, I think I did a video saying that this is probably the most friendly ride you could pick up. But starting with Ride 4, which I've put some serious time into the last couple of weeks, Milestone chased extreme realism. They introduced brutal tyre wear mechanics, heavy physics penalties, and an incredibly strict braking thresholds. Well, I don't mind the realism, to be honest. I quite enjoy that as well. But I do think they could strike a nice balance between what makes bikers bikers, which is the open road. So that is it from me. If you like the video, smash like on the way out. It's always super appreciated. I do try to bring different videos, and we do various biking videos on Biking Sunday. Of course, we've got Trucking Tuesday and Trucking Thursday now here on this channel. If you are subscribed, then thank you for being an SAS crew member. It means the absolute world to me. If you're not subscribed, you're kind of like your trucks and bikes, then maybe this is the channel for you. And if you have gone the extra mile, then thank you for being a member. From me to you, take good care of yourself, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next Tuesday. See you soon. Bye.